Let's go. Trending, 10 minutes, all the good stuff. Better find out. Nate Diaz versus Jake Paul in a boxing match.
Damn, who gives a fuck?
I kind of do, because I kind of feel like, you know, I don't think you can not see.
You're like, bruh, I think fucking Nate's going to do him.
I want to see Jake Paul lose. Everyone does, that's how you make the money, right?
He's just modeling himself off Anthony Mundine.
Well, off any villain.
Yeah.
Charles Sonnen, the villain role.
Yeah.
But you're like, could Nate do it? Also, you'd love to see the Stockton slap in a boxing glove. just slap him. The only disappointing thing would be is he would have Jake Paul rocked and he'd just be like, ha ha ha, like laugh at him and point, and then like not finish him.
Jake Paul comes back.
Yeah, and then
yeah, I will watch. I'll be watching the results.
Right.
And I love to see Nate Diaz do the thing, and I think that's, you know, I don't know, it's the most legit matchup, I guess, that Jake Paul's had. However, when you think about it, it's boxing. It's a different sport, and this is where I think we get caught out every time with the Paul brothers.
Sure.
Is that they're like, or with Jake Paul rather, is that he's like, I'm bringing Tyron Woodley over. You're like, wow, he's fucking like, how are you going to lose to Tyron Woodley, right? He was such a savage in the UFC for so long. But then you're like, it's a whole different sport.
It is.
It's not MMA.
But the thing is, Diaz is known, even though he had great jiu-jitsu, he's known for his striking. He's a volume puncher, right?
Yeah, in MMA though, right? Like it's part of the whole kit versus now we're just playing, we're just trading hands.
But the thing is, Nate Diaz has never really been knocked out, I don't think. I think in the history of his whole career.
Granite chin.
And he would just eat the shot. So it's like...
I'll
anyway.
take that CTE, bro.
You bet he will. The post-fight press conference.
I hope he beats Jake Paul.
I think it's just Jake Paul's like, right, people hate me. I'll make money.
Yeah.
And he will. Take my money. I want to see him lose.
Yeah.
My God, I got Nate Diaz anyway, but we'll see if it's Jake Paul's promotion.
Didn't you say there was some shit about Nate Diaz that happened when we were away?
Okay, I got a side little story, just random.
Go on.
So after the day where we met him,
at ADCC last year.
I saw him on day 2, and he wasn't high. It was during finals, so like you kind of run to the bathroom and then go back. He was having a water fight in the toilets with his homies. Water.
No.
Yes. Yeah, and just like kids, like just a handful of water, and just like splashing random people. People like, oh shit, it's Nate Diaz. But they were just kids. They were just laughing, and they ran out, and a dude had a bottle, and he just like splashed, missed Nate Diaz, and then like just wet some lady, and lady's like, ah! And then like security came, like, what are you doing? And then like, I'm like, I was just watching. I watched them run out the bathroom, like laughing.
I will fight for Nate Diaz.
Everybody would, like, because the security came and they're just average people, and he kind of froze, and they're like, "Sir, you can't do that," and they're like going to like grab him, and then everybody was like, "Dude, it's Nate Diaz, like unhand him," and the security like, "Oh, what?" But he's not. He's doing illegal things, and like the whole, like everyone was just like, "No." It's Nate Diaz, just let him do whatever the fuck you want. And he kind of froze, and he was like, ha ha, and he just ran off, splashing water with his mate. They just continued. They just kept going, and security got like real awkward. And then everyone was like, yeah, all right, cool.
I'm having, like, it's taking me back to Zoolander when they're having the petrol fight. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking of that.
It was a lot like that, except he's just a huge kid, man.
Yeah.
And it's kind of beautiful, but it's also kind of, it's a little bit disturbing because you're like, that's a young kid who could just knock you out.
He's a grown man.
If he turned bad, he's going to kick a hole in your chest. So anyway, funny thing, but the people spoke, security backed down, the water fight continued. Popular.
Poor woman, her clothes are still soaked.
She's like, oh, I understand the context of this. No, I will take the soaking. Lachlan Giles 100K US dollars, which in Australian dollars is 150K, really, from an anonymous benefactor who wants to improve jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, who wants him to invest it in Australian jiu-jitsu.
Do you reckon it could be Craig Jones?
Could it be Craig? Could it be Mo?
It could be. Mo does love Lockie.
Gordon.
What?
How much of a power play would that be?
Bro, I didn't even think. No, Gordon's.
No, it wouldn't be Gordon.
He's too much of a hater.
Yeah,
no. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But
I also don't think it would be Craig.
No, Craig's also too selfish.
Well, yeah, like.
He's improving Australian jiu-jitsu by having the B team.
Well, he's doing his bit by being who he is, yeah.
Yeah, sure. But what does this mean?
The context on this, Lachlan Giles posted about it on Facebook. He's like, hey, legit, someone's given me 100K US anonymously. They want me to invest it in Australian Jiu-Jitsu, do what I want with it. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck to do with it. And so he's posted a follow-up thing. It's only taken him a few days, but he's gonna give the bulk of it, I believe, to high-performing brown and black belts in Australia, preferably ones who are already competing quite often,
or have medalled at certain comps.
But the caveat is they got to be clean.
Got to be natty.
Yeah, so that he's hooked up testing through WADA, and
he's
it's like
paying for drug tests.
if you want to apply for your piece of the pie, you got to get the drug test, which I fucking love.
Yeah, and if you fail, you got to pay for that drug test. It's not cheap, my friends.
Okay, yeah, right, you got to pay it back.
You got to pay it back.
Yeah.
And so it's incredibly interesting because he's saying people on Reddit were like, well, you'll never find anyone like that. But it's not true. There's a bunch of people you can. But I saw a mad meme. I think it's like an online body coaching. It's an online bodybuilding online coach meme, which is just all these super roided dudes sitting at laptops. And it has Lachlan Giles at the top with his 100K, and they're all logging in, and it's like, need not apply, need not apply, need not apply. Like, I think there's a bunch of athletes who will benefit from it, and it's really nice that Lockie's regulating it because he's a very objective person.
Yeah.
He's all about the data and doing the right thing.
Yeah, he's the right guy. I mean, it's a kind of big responsibility to be given this
huge.
money.
It's like a government grant.
Hey, don't fuck this up.
Yeah.
It's, when you start to think about it, it's not a lot of money, right?
No.
Like, you want to pay for someone to go to the States to compete. They have 5 nights in a hotel.
$5,000
It's
plus.
It's a 10 grand trip, right?
Could be.
Like, really, once it's all said and done. So it's like, well, fuck, you can afford 15 of those. Or, like how you split it up is a tricky one.
Yeah. But it's really cool.
I don't think I'm going to apply.
Joey's too many recreational drugs in his system.
Do mushrooms show up as a PED?
I'm not sure. I don't know if it's performance enhancing, unless you follow the Joe Rogan chimp stoner theory.
Yes, the stoned ape theory.
Stoned ape theory, where we are hybrids of chimps and mushrooms that have evolved. Look, I think it's awesome. It's fantastic, but unlucky you drug takers, you ain't getting it.
Well, so just on that, you said you think it would be easy to find people, but have you not also said before that everyone's on it?
At a black belt level, there is.
Yeah, so
I'd say at a brown belt level, not as many.
Not as many.
Not as many. So I think when you're getting younger athletes, not Mickey Galvan, who because in Australia it's way harder.
An application from a Michael Galvan.
Galvan, he's quite young. No, he's just got Australian citizenship. No, I think it's one of those things that it's not in our culture. One, it's ultra expensive.
Yep.
For people to get drugs here. Also, it's way harder because doctors are regulated. Like if you're a young person, you're like, oh, my testosterone's low. Doctor's like,
I got my first ad on Instagram the other day from a company that sells peptides and
oh, really?
Growth hormone. Yeah.
Phone's listening.
It was like, well, yeah. I just feel like such a little bitch sometimes. And then I fucking open IG and this thing pops up. Yeah. And it's like, do you feel like a little bitch sometimes? Yeah. Yes, I do. But it was like energy, strength. It was like all this stuff. And I'm like, what is it? And it's like, click here to learn more. I'm like, all right, I'll follow this. And then it's like, create a profile to see our website. Due to regulations, we cannot show you our product. Oh. And then I was talking to someone else I know who just started taking peptides. And they're like, yeah, I get them through this company. Whatever.
How interesting.
I'm like, holy shit. They're advertising now.
There you go. They're getting that money. It's that direct-to-consumer market.
That's right, bro.
But yeah, here in Australia, it is harder to get steroids than other places. You just got to go to Thailand, get it hooked up.
Yeah.
Now,
bro, you were on a podcast recently.
I was on the BJJ Mental Coach, which is with Gustavo Dantas, and he's a legend, one of the OG guys from Nova União, and just been a very influential guy in the world of jiu-jitsu. And it's all about BJJ entrepreneurship.
Right on.
So we did talk a bit about Bulletproof, talked a bit about judo, how I got into jiu-jitsu. And I guess it was interesting to be on like the other end of the conversation, have someone asking the questions.
Yeah.
But no, it went good. It was cool to be able to talk with him because he talked about also how he set up his academy and what it's like to be in the business of jiu-jitsu.
Right on.
And so, yeah, there's some stuff I shared on there which I don't usually talk about here.
Oh.
There you go. Not secret stuff, just not necessarily stuff I talk about. But it's kind of cool that you're able to participate in this circle. It was like, you come on our podcast, go on your podcast.
Has this episode gone out yet?
No.
No, yeah, that'll be out soon, huh?
Yeah. And how about you? You also more recently did a podcast.
I jumped on the Newaza podcast,
Cool.
which was cool. It was a broad ranging like training history, what got me into it, bulletproof kind of views on, strength and flexibility and all that. Yeah, it was great. It was a good chat. It was a long one. I would say that the questions probably didn't quite, wasn't the most.
Wasn't the hard hitting.
Yeah, I wanted
interview.
the interviewer to dig a little bit more on my responses, and
he didn't say to you, Joe, go deeper on that.
Tell me more about that. Yeah, it's just like, okay, great, next question. And I was like, oh shit, I kind of just stayed surface level.
Hang on, let me go deeper on that.
Yeah, let me just take that back for you for 1 second. But no, it was great. Check it out. Newaza podcast.
Awesome. They're both great podcasts. Great to see more jiu-jitsu podcasts, and so always happy to promote them.
Yep. Thanks, fam.